Congratulations, you are coming to the right channel. If you are tired of watching any new hack and slash game on mobile, so you should be relaxed because all of the game that I will mention has been released globally. Some aspect will be the highlight to represent what a great graphic is, and even some of them doesn't cost any stamina for grinding. Remember to like this video and please enjoy the video of officially released Top 12 Hack and Slash Games Mobile 2026. You guys can support this channel by sending a super thanks, and our team will appreciate that. Z72H Conquest. If you are all tired of seeing any games nowadays always come with an anime style, then it's a good time for you to have this game on your list because it has a cartoon art style and more western on character design. But you can't underestimate the combat mechanism because it's quite fast paced enough. Even we can switch to different weapons based on the skill we place on the sword key icon. The dual sword and also the axe are the weapons we actually can use. Raise the skill level to acquire a new skill. The dodge and jump button will help you a lot to avoid the incoming strike. Basically, it's an exploration base where we should gather some material and resources to build a certain building. Then the new tool will be unlocked to open up the new features like chopping the bigger tree or mining the harder stone. Most of the enemies that we'll find around us have a bigger size than us, so it might be easier to lock the target while we are in combat. Best new hack and slash games 2026 Android and iOS. Monel Stardive. This game makes a new game standard for mobile platform. The gameplay is really good and super enjoyable, especially if you really want to enjoy the storyline. It has so much humor and fun dialogue that will easily be delivered to any player who prefer to play a simple and not a heavy story. The combat mechanism is a hack and slash. The player can manage up to 3 main heroes on the team's lineup, switch to each other and launch a sudden entrance attack once we always do a switching. The combat mechanism is super simple. There is no energy, no stamina. The cooldown is the only indicator we need to focus. Reveal the ultimate skill gets better by hitting the monster frequently. The game is perfectly optimized on mobile, but I highly recommend to reduce the shadow setting to make the gameplay even smoother. Top ARPG Mobile 2026. Where winds meet. I would guarantee if the player who's ever seen a game is called with Black Meat Wukong, then they will call Where Winds Meet as a Wukong clone. Honestly, I would agree with that opinion because the game's graphic looks so identical. Even the combat mechanism looks quite similar. A lot of action we actually can do like parrying, blocking and countering. All of the action movement seems so realistic and pretty detailed. The skill effect is not flashy at all, making the player can easily notice the realistic aspect. It has a seamless world where you guys will never see any single loading screen once you are moving into a new area. I'm so impressed by how smooth and amazing the environment is. It just looks so magnificent. I would give 10 to 10 for the gameplay, graphic, visual and storyline. It's full of mystery. Trial of Mana. I think everyone in this world knows who is Square Enix. These games developers are always all in to create a perfect role-playing game genre. Mostly their work is always getting a very good feedback on the console platform. Surprisingly, they made a mobile version with a high-quality game action that we actually can play and enjoy. I would like to remind you if this game is kind of a premium one, but if you love a JRPG where the game is trying so hard to deliver the storyline, surely this game is the answer. The combat mechanism is simple. Just tap any skill button that's available once the cooldown is ready. Even the area will be closed once we face the monster, making the player stay focused on targeting the enemy. Aether Gazer. I would straight to the point if you need to have a lot of free space to download the entire game, because this is one of the biggest game ARPG on mobile. Trust me, you will get a very good experience on the graphic and character design. So, before you download the game, then you should watch this gameplay how top-notch the graphic looks like, even if the combat is super smooth. There is no laggy once I set it on the highest setting, which is pretty impressive. The combat gameplay is quite different because we can't switch the player with the other hero, but actually we can manage which team's lineup we should be made by selecting 3 of the main heroes. We all will fight side by side anyway. Make a good decision on the partner skill and launch a combination combo skill to deal an explosive damage to an area of effect range monster. Aether Gazer is one of the best ARPG that regularly get an update, that's why I put it on this list. Game of Thrones King's Root. This game is a multi-platform game that's playable on PC and also mobile, but honestly it doesn't get a better optimization on mobile platform because I didn't get any smooth gameplay at all. I've tried to set the graphic into a different setup to maintain which setup will be the best on my phone, even if it has a Snapdragon Elite but it's not strong enough. This is the main thing that the developer need to be concerned about to give a better gaming experience. The gameplay will set in a medieval vibes where all of the villagers and how the ambience is well represent the medieval environment is. The game's combat mechanism is we can make a combination strike by combining two attacks of basic attack and also skill. Each of the combos we touch will create a different attacking style based on the pattern you tap. Blade of God X Orisols. I would like to ask the developer why my account suddenly disappeared. And now I have never been active on playing this game, but after I replayed, then I can't log in into my previous account. I really hope the developer who want to wipe their inactive player to give information first through an email, so the player will have a chance to manage and keep their character. This game has a dark fantasy theme base. Everything will easily describe how the environment is dominant with a dark fantasy, from the game's background, the character, and the monster appearance and the music background. I love how realistic the combat is. It just looks so slow, but it is a good action to indicate how realistic the combat is. Honestly, I love all of the boss monster design. It's just an anomaly creators where the developer make a combination of a different form. The combat mechanism is a hack and slash. We need to maintain the stamina or energy for every single action we do. Bleach Solar Resonance. From all of the anime games that exist on mobile, for me, this game is one of the most satisfying ARPG on mobile. Everything looks so perfect, from the character design and the hero's voiceover. It's exactly the same as the actual anime. It's because this game is the official one, that's why the storyline will be so familiar if you are fans of Bleach anime. The combat mechanism is a hack and slash. It has the fastest combat battle, with so much dynamic movement and action we actually need to learn. But I think some aspect will easily trigger those actions like anticipation and also reflex. We can recruit more heroes freely once we reach a new stage, but of course the gacha will help you a lot in getting a higher hero's quality. I will recommend a Bleach Soul Resonance to anyone who loves a fast-paced combat. E.T.E Chronicle. This game has a very unique combat battle that I never show in any game in its own style. Can you imagine we'll control a huge robot as the main hero? Each of the robots will have their own playstyle, like a long range with a gun as the primary weapon or a close range combat style with a sword. So we can manage the formation by picking up to 4 main heroes on our side. Switching the hero is one of the best strategies to win the game, because we can adjust the playstyle based on the enemy's weaknesses point. I realize all of the characters are female with a great looking design and a very sharp outline, making the player enjoy the hero's appearance while we are in the lobby. The combat mechanism is a hack and slash. We just need to tap the attacking action and tap the support skill allies to launch the attack. The ultimate skill will show up with cinematic visual. Abyss there. Does anyone notice it? I remember playing this game before, but I used to play with a male characters as the main hero that I could control while I was in the village. But right now the entire heroes are female. I really hope the developer will create a male hero as well. Honestly, I prefer to play as a male role as a masculine look and good appearance. It has a semi-open world base. I mean, the player can explore the village in a smaller range area, ask the NPC to get a conversation and knowing about the current condition, or upgrade your hero's power through the optional menu for skill, gear, or weapon. The combat seems so crowded because the battle area is small enough, but the player can take more than 3 heroes against a bunch of enemies at the same time, so you all can imagine how busy it is. Alterna Welt, Blue Exorcist Another Story. This is a new brand anime that only has one version on mobile platform, so you guys will never see any Alterna Welt except it. And honestly, I love how they decide to create this sequel as an action hack and slash game. This game will give you a huge freedom to explore some areas like school, city, hospital, and forest. Surprisingly, all of the enemy will respawn randomly, so we can easily find them around us. Most of the enemies number is not massive, which is quite fair and balanced level. As a newbie, of course you can play it now. The combat mechanism is a hack and slash game, but in a real time. An arcane skill can be launched to deal an element effect like water, spirit, fire, earth, growth, and null element. So selecting the right character will give us a huge advantage to deal a bigger damage. Keep hitting the boss to break his barrier and they will get into a break state. This state will be the best time to wipe him out. Does anyone know this anime? Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves. I will put two of these games at once because these all games have the same level and exactly similar gameplay. I think the two of them are the most playable hack and slash game on mobile and have been downloaded for more than 10 million players so far. We can even connect the account within PC and also mobile, which is pretty simple. The game's combat mechanism is a hack and slash. With a higher level combat, we can make a great element effect to burn the grass, tree, and freeze the water to step on it. Exploring the beautiful and immersive world will be the best part to enjoy it. Seriously, I really love the scenery. Remember to like this video, I'm sure your support will help us a lot. Remember to request and comment on the box comment section, so our team will be prepared as the next content. See you on the next video, thanks.